Why the long face? Tired from work?
Something like that.
Life's hard, so we gotta work hard, Holy, it's you, the famed hero of Usborne, or so they say.
So that's what people call me.
Well, no one knows your name. They have to call you something.
I guess so. Hey, you up for a good talk?
Oh yes, please do tell of your adventures, hero of Usborne.
The bandit raids on Usborne were fast and organized. They had to be, to so efficiently rob a city of mercenaries. Their de facto leader, the self-proclaimed Prince of Thieves, ruled his band from the sunken grotto. And there I was, down the complex of caves stretching down the length of the shores of the northern basin, once home to Usborne's thriving docks and piers. Now abandoned, the sunken grotto is infested with the undead, the Ad Muata warriors, and rats as big as your head. Before I knew it, he has found me long before I found him. Two daggers came flying out of the darkness, aimed at my head, and a quick sidestep to the right has spared my life. I looked back to where the daggers came from, and there he is, the Prince of Thieves, emerged from the darkness. 1-2 slash strike! Steel clashed against steel, each of us fighting for dear life. In a delicate dance with both of our lives playing the audience. The prince fought valiantly, but a swift thrust of my blade pierced his heart, and I emerged victorious. By the time the prince was laid low, a trail of carnage was left behind, and his underground abode was thoroughly plundered. The scant remains of his followers dispersed to the far reaches of the grotto, and the roads leading south from Usborne are safe from bandits for now.
I see, so that's how you defeated him. Real nice.
Well, that's just the beginning. Things are about to get, let's say, unreal.
Well, I'm all ears tonight. Lay it on me.
The high ice-encrusted peaks of the glacial mountains are impassable, but for a narrow pass leading south, Ismoll stalk the path. But the most feared inhabitants of these mountains are the orcs. The horde respects little but raw strength and brutality, and its chief is said to exemplify these qualities. Worse still, the fringes of the dark reach into this area, resulting in roaming shadow prowlers and eyeball-like floaters. The snow was blowing hard. It was turning dark quickly. Went looking for shelter but found none suitable, so I had to make camp for the night. Turns out, I camped right next to their bloody settlement. A thicket of trees lie between our camps. No one knew where each other was, until I lit up my lantern. I was knocked out cold. When I woke up, it was morning. The blizzard had passed. My sword and the chief was in front of me. Armored orcs with tower shields line up around us, forming some kind of arena. The fight was tough. The chieftain's strength and skill was unmatched. He was dealing blow after blow after blow. Small shockwaves are made each time his weapon misses and hits the ground. I couldn't imagine surviving a hit from him. My speed is the only thing that's keeping me alive. It was difficult to find an opening, until... Swish! The orc chieftain's blow goes high, slicing through the air above my head. A lucky lance has saved me, and I twist my sword up into his side, and I tear my blade across his innards, finally bringing an end to his tyrannical rule. And that spelled disaster for the orcs. As though they had been lying in wait for the first sign of weakness, The creatures of the dark overrun the disarrayed orc army and wipe out its remnants. The pass is left open for brave travelers once again.
Why didn't they kill you when they had the chance?
The chieftain probably wanted some fun, or wanted to make me worth it before I became orc food, like a worthy kill from a good challenging hunt. I was lucky. It was noon by the time I returned.
Ah yes, I was there when the chief's war helmet was raised in the town center. It was a glorious moment for you in the city of Osborne.
Not exactly as glorious for me. The council saw nothing of it but a potential toy for political gain. I became their lapdog. They gave me a position among their ranks and made it public, so that my own feats would also become theirs, and that they would use it to solidify their moral authority over the people of Osborne.
Power-hungry dogs. I've always hated the council. Never done anything good or significant for the city. Except you. You are probably the best thing that has ever happened for Osborne. And on behalf of our people, I thank you for that.
After I was given the position, the council started sending me out for scouting missions. The first mission sends me back wandering the sunken grotto. If there is any hierarchy to the undead creatures that were given a curse on life by the tearing, it remains unknown, save for one figure, the Baron of Bones. The giant skeleton rules an undead empire in the deepest depths of the sunken grotto. The Prince of Thieves himself dared not venture so low as to disturb their grisly neighbors. In the damp darkness of the grotto, the clacking of bones is unmistakable, but it doesn't take long for the crash of blade against bone to drown it out. Smashed to pieces or else blasted apart by flame and ice, they fall. Finally, a grand cavern reveals an aging throne room with the master himself in place of honor. My first strike is a split second too slow, and the Baron nearly overpowers me. With his size and height advantage, he is a formidable foe. He started flailing all over the damn place. It made it extremely difficult and dangerous to get close. He attempts one giant horizontal swing, but overextends it. His head, now within my blade's reach. Sheer luck, or maybe a lack of peripheral vision from having no eye, sends my final blow into the side of his head. My blade splitting one empty eye socket open. I guide the Baron of Bones to his final rest. The undead shuffle aimlessly now in the sunken grotto. The age of the undead is broken.
Wow, I've heard stories of the Baron of Bones, but never believed they were true.
Well, there are a lot of things that we thought were only legends, but turned out to be true in the end. And trust me, I've seen them with my own two eyes. My next mission was to the Withering Woods, just south of the Glacial Pass. The Mwata, strange mask-wearing humanoids, revere a nameless deity whose avatar on Irwa is known as the Chosen. Immortal and godly, the Chosen is destined to restore the glory of the Mwata and throw off the oppression of man. The Mwatas live in the Withering Woods, mist-covered swamplands south of the Glacial Mountains. They live among orcs and the fish-like Vodyanoi in an uneasy peace, once secured by reluctance to cross the Orc Chieftain or the Mwata Chosen. With the orcs now in disarray, the Mwata strengthened their dominion over the swamp. Wandering in the woods, it wasn't long before the Mwatas found me, but I had a plan. I knew that the Mwatas had a sweet tooth for grapes, and I had brought a bunch before I started my journey in the woods. So I gave them grapes and wine as a peace offering. Luckily enough, they accepted it, and they welcomed me into their tribe. And there I saw the Chosen's temple. We danced, sang songs, and told stories until night fell. It was fun while it lasted, but I had a job to do. Under the cover of night, with only a few tribesmen on patrol, I snuck into the temple and challenged the Chosen. Between flash of steel, crack of lightning, and even the power of nature itself, the Chosen's supposed immortality proved false. Even the avatar of a god, it seemed, could be burned and beaten. Though he certainly gave all he had, his surges of dark energy called forth from the tear, crippled me even as I conjured vines to wrap around his legs. With waning power, I summoned a spear of ice and impaled him through the heart, proving that he had one after all. With their gods stricken low, the Muata scattered to the depths of the swamp, doubtless plotting their revenge even as they flee. Now sent into disarray as much as their orc neighbors, they pose no greater threat than their feeble ambushes and solitary attacks. Albeit savage and solitary beasts, the trolls of the Glacial Pass are held together in a loose union by the eldest of the pack. His resilience is unmatched, and the recent disorganization of the orcs has made him bolder. Under his instruction, the trolls have descended from the highest reaches of the mountains, and are now fierce dangers upon the precarious pathway through the pass.
You had to take
I
care
had
of
to
him.
take care of him. So you know who's my next target on the list. The ancient troll.
How'd you find him?
I had a hunch on where they would settle. And I was right. They had claimed the ruined orc chieftain's camp and made it their own encampment. I was staking it out, eyes on the prize, when a blizzard suddenly came in. I realized that I could use the weather to my advantage, and so I did. With a couple of troll blood serums to mask my scent, and under the cover of the blizzard, I snuck in the camp and made my way to the ancient troll to challenge him. I had the element of surprise, and I began the battle with a fireball. The ancient troll's lumbering strike passes swiftly overhead, as I direct another gout of flame from my fingertips. I have to keep up the pressure, or his regeneration will be my undoing. He lunges forward, teeth snapping at the space where my head had just been, and I dart to the side as I unleash another fireball. Even among the blizzard and these frigid peaks, the pace of battle has me sweating. I use my new position to hamstring the beast with my sword, and he reacts by shifting his weight to his other leg and throwing himself into a swipe. Too slowly, however, as I duck and drive my sword up into his neck. Ichor seeps from the wound, and suddenly the whole hulk of death-rattling troll is lying atop me. The other trolls fall in, teeth gnashing against the bones of the ancient troll. Their sickening gluttony fills my ears as I lie there helplessly. But by the time I free myself, his brood is long gone, having fled to the highest peaks above. The trolls pose no threat on the long walk back to Usborne, and the way south is open once more. Undoubtedly, they will return to their reclusive habits in little time. The dark has driven many beasts to madness, and the Queen of Beasts is no exception. Making its lair deep within the withering woods, it preys on anything that enters its vast domain.
The Queen of Beasts?
Yes, my final mission is to do further scouting in the withering woods.
Why? What's in there? Don't tell me that the council has lost its balls and had you searching for ancient legends.
It wasn't their decision. It was my own. On my own volition, I went far and deep beyond the borders of the woods.
And what'd you find?
Beauty, elegance, and magnificence beyond measure. Corrupted by the dark, now amount to nothing. The Shadow Dragon herself, in all her majesty, reduced to little more than enraged monstrosity. worshipped by the beastmen who also make the woods their home. It lords its dominance with spectacular might. Fire flashes in the air near me, and I tumble out of the way just in time. Smoke trails delicately into the air above the dragon's nostrils as it rears back its head, intent on letting more flames fly. I throw up an ice shell barrier as I lean forward and charge in, hoping to get into melee range without meeting an untimely end. The dragon's claws on one monstrous hand sent cracks through my icy shell, and I returned the act with a stab upwards, reaching nothing but air as the dragon has already maneuvered back. I transmit my momentum forward, keeping pace with the beast. Each of us trading swipes and stabs. Exhaustion is evident on both of us when the battle finally draws to an end. A dozen gashes run along the creature's hide, and its movements is slow just enough for me to grab the advantage. A long, deep cut across its chest brings the dragon low. And a stab through its great fiery eye finishes the task. If it were up to me to say, I might imagine the dragon's face to be set in a peaceful and relaxed way as it lays down for the last time. I clean and chase my sword and then lean on it as I examine the path back. Why are you looking at me like that? You don't believe me, do you?
I don't know. It's quite a story.
Quite a story, yeah.
But I'll take your word for it. After all, you did manage to bring down the Prince of Thieves, the Orc Chief, and the Ancient Troll. What did the council say of your findings?
Bah! The fools did nothing but laugh their lungs out. I thought I had their attention when I reported about the Muata Chosen. Then the story about the Baron of Bones and the Shadow Dragon came, and with it, all truths that I have spoken before them have become senseless blabbering, and the fools laughed.
Well, truth or fantasy, the only person who could have seen such things is the only one who made life in Usborne better when he arrived, which is why I believe you.
Thank you.
No, thank you for sharing your adventures with me. I wish I could share my stories with you with the same magnitude, but I've done little to amount to what you've done for the city. I'll just bore you. Besides, it's pretty late. Gotta get enough rest for tomorrow's work.
Yeah.
You should rest too. Looks like you need it. See you around, big man.
The path to the Imperial capital is clear and open. Now that I think about it, the Shadow Dragon could have easily razed the town with dragon fire. But it didn't. Whatever is left of the dragon's reason, it has decided to hold itself in its den, serving as a trial to whoever wishes to enter the old Imperial capital. Adventurers will be saved the corruption and the sufferings brought upon by the tear should they fail the trial. Salvation by dragon fire. But what does it mean for the person who succeeds? I have defeated and slain the Shadow Dragon. I have passed its trial. Am I ready to enter the old Imperial capital?